Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't realize we already went live. Hello, hey all, how's it going? I'm just posting a couple things to let people know that I'm live because YouTube going live, it's just like I went live and then it didn't tell me that I was live. It was weird. But things are going well. It's 4 a.m. I'm gonna go to bed in about an hour. I am just winding down from making some videos and doing some work in the basement here. Um, so uh, I'm just gonna post this on here, and then I'll come over and say hi. Okay. Hope you're doing well. Just want to say how much I love your channel. Oh, thank you so much. A wild stream appears. Yeah, I know. Excited for Baldur's Gate? Yeah. I wasn't actually planning on getting it because I never got the original Baldur's Gate. I played them, but like I was never super into them. But a lot of people want me to play Baldur's Gate, so I think I'm gonna do it. See what happens. I could always stream me playing Baldur's Gate and like chat with you guys. Class in 3 minutes. No worries. Have fun in class. Congrats on 50K subs. Yes. 50K giveaway is in the process right now. I promise. Um, I've been reaching out to people, and that reminds me, I need to send an email before I go to sleep. So I can say, I have a couple of things. My stupid Ted brain is like, do 50 prizes for 50K giveaway, and that's insane. And while I've been honestly looking at seeing if I could do it, it's just too much. So, plus I'm also working on my October giveaway, which involves me needing to go to a lumber yard and pick up some materials, and work with things I've never worked with before. So that'll be interesting. Um, but yeah. Well, good morning, Germany. Um, I'm glad you're on. Whoa, hey, sorry you're locked out of your house. That sucks. Um, but glad I can help make some of your time a little bit easier. Um, but yeah, so I've got a little bit here before I go to sleep. I've been I made a couple videos tonight. Um, I did a little work in the D&D room, where I put up some shelves in a closet. Coffee of choice? Really, I don't love flavored coffee. That's a thing that not a lot of people know about me. I like my coffee to taste like coffee. So like a good strong black coffee. Now, brands of coffee doesn't really matter to me too much. Um, but then again, maybe I haven't had the right brand, right? So I usually just get like Folgers from like the grocery store. But like I've had Death Wish coffee once, that was very good. I had Initiative Coffee Company as a sponsor for a long time, that was really good. I've heard a lot of good things about Found Familiar Coffee, and I reached out. They reached out to me, I reached out to them, but we just have never connected. So maybe that's really good too. Theros and Ravnica are ideas for the next Magic the Gathering thing. That one that they announced the card game, the card set for, seems kind of, what was it, Zendikar? Maybe? I don't know if no, it wasn't Zendikar. It was another one that's coming out next year. I don't know. Um, I'm not sure if I'm being honest with you. So, maybe it's Kaldheim. Uh, Maybe it's Zendikar. Innistrad is one I know a lot of people like. I think that's the vampire one. Um, so I don't know. I don't know enough about Magic. I'll be honest with you. To know enough. I think if we get a 6E or whenever we do get a 6E, that Magic is going to be Magic and D&D will be fully integrated from the start. That's my assumption with that. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if we yeah, Vampire, yeah. Innistrad's the one people seem to really like. Um, and they did the plane shift articles a while back. So like maybe there's something to check out for that. I know a lot of people like the plane shift Phoenix sorcerer. A lot of people are a big fan of that. Um, so I don't know. I mean, maybe. I like I said, I feel like they're going to integrate magic and D&D in the future because they tried it. It seems to have worked relatively well. Um, and yeah, I don't know. Well, we know they're probably doing a Barovia campaign setting next year. Probably. Maybe. I know that's a really very wishy-washy. Yes, it's 4 a.m. here, Ulrich Troll, where I am. 4:02. I haven't gone to bed yet. Yeah, more settings is not necessarily a bad thing. It just will piss off all the people who want things like Space Spelljammer and Dark Sun and whatnot. Have you ever had to nerf players you ended up giving them too much stuff? I'm kind of in that situation, but I want to find another alternative. Yeah, I have. And I'm at fault because it's always me. I like giving out cool, powerful magic items, and when I give them out, then I don't want to take them back. So I don't think I've done it in D&D. I've just made the encounters harder. But in an old Buffy the Vampire Slayer campaign, one person had too much. They were like a mage. And they had way too much powerful magic because I fucked up and gave them too much powerful magic. So I basically had them go on a quest where they got a shard of a magic sword in their hand, and it made it so they couldn't use magic anymore. He was a little pissed at first, but I let him make his hands catch on fire, and he liked that. Um, Currently building a changeling divine soul sorcerer who pretends to be a cleric. I really like the concept. Ah, that would be cool. It's 10 a.m. here. Jeez, man, how do you function? Coffee, mostly, and naps when I can take them. How am I tonight? I am great. What? You're up late. Always. Good, sir. Oh my god, the DC campaign sipping. I'm supposed to review that along with the Taldori campaign guide. I really need to get on that. Well, I can give you guys a little peek behind the curtains. So tomorrow's a top 10. It's Fae. It's Fae monsters. It's top 10 Fae monsters. Which, by the way, there's a tragically minimal amount of Fae creatures in 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons that aren't just like Winter Eladrin and Summer Eladrin and things like that, or like 6 different kinds of Satyr. So this top 10 might be more like a top 5 because I don't think there's actually that many Fae monsters. But the rest of the week is going to be DM's Guild stuff because the DM's Guild actually reached out to me to do a partnership, which is pretty cool. So later in the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, will be sponsored videos from the DM's Guild, which is kind of cool. Are there any monsters from 1E or 2E that you would like to see come back? Well, I never played 1E or 2E, so I'm going to stick with 3E because that's all I know, and I did a video on that. Have you thought about using any of the DM's Guild homebrew? I just use the Mythic Actions. Yeah, I do use DM's Guild as often as I can. I try to influence it into my games because if I don't have the time to create my own stuff and someone else has already done it, I'll just use it. Favorite cheese? Mozzarella. Mozzarella. I'm Italian, so mozzarella. Fresh. What is your favorite elf sub-race? Wood elf. I'm pretty bland, I know. What you think about an echoing phantom? Fighter rogue. Sounds good to me. I gotta work on a Terraria campaign setting for 5e. That will be quite the undertaking. Sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna try and rope some. That's awesome. Good luck. I hope you get it. Good morning from Ireland. Hello, Ireland. Great. I'm excited for the new top 10. Currently playing a druid. Lack of Fae makes me sad, right? It's pretty rough. There's only 3 pages in D&D Beyond of Fae, and that includes stuff that people might not normally have, like Mordenkainen's Fiendish Folio, Volume 1. Any word on a 5e Spelljammer book? No, but I can plug the Kickstarter that I'm a part of, the Black Star Realms Kickstarter. It's the closest thing you're going to get to Spelljammer currently, aside from the other things that may have already been out, but it's a little grittier, more realistic, and less acid trippy, and I'm a part of it. I want to link that right now. I'm going to go grab the link because I'm a part of it, and that's pretty exciting. And if we raise 60K from that, then I will be creating a subclass that's going to be in a printed book, which this is actually going to be my first ever writing credit. I don't have any like official credits on anything, and this would be my first one, so I'm pretty excited for that. There's the link right there. Play Hexblade Warlock. What pact do I take? Blade to stage. I always go for Blade for a Hexblade. It just makes sense to me. Have you ever had to give your players an apology after giving them PTSD? I have not. What are some of the biggest tips and tricks you have for new DMs? Talk to your players. Seems simple, but a lot of people don't do it. Figure out what they want and work with them. And you know, don't be afraid to make rules on the fly if you need to. Link is in the. I just put that in there. Planning Dungeon of Mad Mage. What subclass should I play? Wizard. You say you're playing a what wizard subclass? Oh, Evocation probably is my favorite. Or Divination could be really good. How about Not Enough Beasts? Yeah, Beasts is another one. What's my favorite 5e campaign module? I don't really love them, if I'm being honest with you. Strahd's okay, but I don't think I can play it more than once. Storm King Thunder, I didn't really get a chance to play it, but it had some variability. And I haven't really had a chance to read through Descent into Avernus or Rime of the Frostmaiden enough to get a true good feel on it. Is it true that with a feat of Magic Initiating Cleric one with Goodberry... well, I mean, I did a whole video on that, so I say no based on the descriptions in the video that I did. I don't know. Think there are any monsters like Null that should get changed to Fiend, like Exaladical? Yes, they should be. That would be a good one. What's your opinion on epic level material? Do you consider this edition lacking? There is no epic level material in my mind. That's why you got to go to third-party things like 2C Gaming or otherwise. I want to play a Kobold. What would be a good backstory / excuse that explains why Kobold's going into the wide world? I mean, maybe it's just that. Maybe you don't want to be bound by the simplicity of your race of just being a bunch of goobers in a cave trying to kill people, and you want to go out and do the thing, be an adventurer. I mean, I don't think it needs to be more on the nose than. I mean, that's it. It's what you want to do, right? I've got a player ask for a 9th level hero NPC that follows the party around that he'd play, who I couldn't kill, but when I asked for a Mastiff, he said no, it would ruin the What? Get a new DM. I don't know. I'm confused on maybe that question officially, but that seems wonky. Working on a campaign right now where they meet pirates and the captain is a Kensei monk using a cutlass and a crossbow. Does that sound good? Yeah, I think it sounds good. What's your favorite relatively unknown monster? Mine are Cloaker and Bahir. I do like both Cloaker and Bahir. Flumps have gotten a lot more popularity lately. I do love me a good flump, though. The Ixolitl, what we were talking about, the kind of underground vampire manta ray from Out of the Abyss, that's pretty cool. Can't think of any paladin or subclass for a pirate. Conquest could work. Any recommendations for a fun build based in an arena combat campaign? My Hexblade Paladin died, and I want to try something a little weird. Well, if you're in an arena combat, do you want to be healing or do you want to do damage? Because you might want to go for AoE if you're going to be in arena combat. But healing could also be interesting. Check out my top 10 multi-class builds video. There's actually some really good ones in there. Have you given any thought to my previous question from the other night? The question being, are there any rules or precedents from older editions that made it into 5e that I don't like? Oh, ones that made it into 5e that I don't like? I'm not sure if there's ones that made it into 5e that I don't like. I don't particularly love the you heal on a long rest. All your stuff comes back after an 8-hour nap. So magic initiate feat and racial spells will work like UA spells, in my opinion. Yeah, well, I mean, you do what you want in your game. That's how that goes. Thoughts on the lack of oil for weapons? Oh, you mean like not just oil of sharpness, like other kinds of oil? It seems like a no-brainer. I don't know why they don't do that. Maybe it'll be in Tasha's. Probably not. How do I help my players roleplay? I mean, that's tricky, right? Because not everybody wants to roleplay. Do you want them to roleplay? And I guess the better question is, why do you want them to roleplay? Or are they coming to you saying, I want to roleplay more, help me? Because I don't know. I toe the line with this a lot because I stream my games every Tuesday night. And we're doing it as a form of entertainment. So characters role-playing is something good for entertainment purposes for you to watch. But when I play in a home game, sometimes I don't really roleplay at all. We just kind of play through the game, if that makes sense. So I just hope it's not like you have an expectation in your head that they should be role playing. Because I mean, they can if they want, and you can make them if you want to. But I would say if they don't want to role play, you don't force them to role play. That's just not. You don't want to force people to do things they don't want to do. What are your thoughts on psionics? I don't love psionics. Honestly, I never liked them in older editions. I don't particularly like them at all now, and I think it's really doesn't fit with 5e trying to shoehorn them in. Any tips for world building? It's my first time in making more than a town-to-town basis. Um, I don't know. Think high level for your history of the world. What kind of stuff do you want to do? For me, a lot of the times it's looking up cool monsters or NPCs or making up a cool NPC and then saying, oh, I should build a story around this guy. Or like an old character I never got to play. They become a new legendary NPC in the world. That's kind of how that stuff builds out. What is your favorite tiefling subrace? Levistus, the one that gets Ray of Frost. I think that's really cool. What are your thoughts on Baldur's Gate 3? It's just interesting enough that I might play it. My older brother made us fight a 3 once, Barbarian SBC. They've been with us for a while, rolled 6 natural 20s in a row. That'll do it. What would you suggest to hook players into a plot with a demon lord, big bad evil guy? I'm having trouble introducing him. They've encountered some of his demons already. Do you have a trusted NPC or player relation? Probably not. All the players' family's probably dead because that's just how that works. But if they have a trusted NPC or something like that, perhaps they can get into some sort of dealing with the demon. Maybe they don't know it's the demon, or maybe they do know it's the demon. Either way, that could be interesting. Isn't there a spell point system you can use instead of spell slots? Yep, that is exactly what you can do in spell slots. I have a video on the spell points system. Go check it out. What do you think of the UA Magic Initiate? The UA Magic Initiate? I'm not sure which one you mean. You mean the Artificer Initiate, maybe? I don't know. You think it would be balanced to give Draconic Sorcerers resistance based on the bloodlines? Give that Bland Sorcerer a bit more worth to play? Yeah, I think so. The fact that they have it like tied to like you can spend a sorcery point to get resistance for like a little bit kind of doesn't make sense to me. So I probably fixed it. Oh, Raceland, you know it's gonna be you. You're here. Come on now. I don't have Caramon in the chat, so Raceland wins by a long shot. How do you feel about a chef or cooking based subclass? I think that's great. I would love like a food. Actually, I asked for like a food domain cleric and a food based bard, and my friend Firebringer Axel made 2 subclasses over on his I think it was on his Tumblr, maybe on one of his other accounts, where he made a harvest domain cleric and like a I forget what the bard was. Might be tricky with the way YouTube does copyrighted music and videos, but any chance of a top 10 music soundtrack / artists while DMing? I don't really use music when I DM because I haven't really found. I always try to, and I never find anything, and I have to deal with the whole DMCA strikes and whatnot, which is why me and Jake are making our own album. There's a community post about the demo track that he just plucked around and made, so I'm going to work with him tomorrow to start doing some more recordings to put together like a 6 or so track album of like ambient background music, like a town music, a battle music, like a serious type music, an adventuring music, party music, that kind of thing. Do you think a folding boat could be used on dry land as like a campsite? I don't see why not. I have a limited budget, but would like more monsters to play with than only a monster manual. What do you recommend I get? Like I like when I get some lore with my monsters. Any of the Kobold Press books. Kobold Press Tome of Beasts, Creature Codex, or Tome of Beasts 2. I'm extremely interested in seeing how they revise the Ranger. They're probably not really going to do it, so don't get your hopes up too high. What's the best creative thing you've done in combat? Mine involved the Vulture and Alchemy Jug and Mayonnaise. Creative thing I've done in combat? I think one of my early times in 3.5, I cut up the tent that I had in my backpack to basically make a tent above a cave, and I filled the thing with rocks, and we called all the kobolds that were in the cave out, and I pulled the string and then dropped all the rocks on the kobolds and killed them. That was pretty cool. I don't know how much you use it yourself, but any advice on getting started with battle maps? I try to use them, but I don't do them that much. What do you think about Winged Tiefling and Aarakocra? I think they're fine. What would you recommend if people wanted to tweak the level 20 abilities? I.e., wizard getting a 10th level spell slot or a sorcerer being able to change their points to spells at 1-to-1. I think it's fine. I think I wouldn't go with 10th level spells. I think that's a little wonky. Do you think outer plane races should be playable? Like which ones? College of Culinary Arts? Yeah, something like that. What do you think of re-implementing prep 1 per spell slot for wizards to help casters feel/play different? Not entirely sure what you mean, but I'm interested. Thoughts on the apparatus of Qualish? It's fine. I wish it was cooler. What time is the giveaway in Pacific time? I'm not sure what you mean. The giveaway is in Eastern time, so if it's Pacific time, it'll be 3 hours earlier or later. What do you think of a Butler-style rogue? Interesting. What homebrew have you used that destroyed the game? I haven't really destroyed the game, I would say. So, you have players who want to use spell slots, use them. I haven't let anybody use the spell point system. Somebody brought it up to use it now, but like I've been talking about it. One of my players brought it up like last week. They're like, maybe we should do that for the second campaign in your homebrew world to switch it up. And I was just like, I've been talking about this for like 4 years, and you just read the Dungeon Master's Guide to look at it now. Anyway, how would you feel about a WotC campaign setting that revolves around pop culture elements like Rick and Morty? It could be good if you choose it the right one. I think it could be done well, or I think it could be very bad. What kind of ranger subclass do you like? I like Beastmaster. I just want it to be good. Do you know of Tailspire? I have heard of Tailspire. I have not used it. What do you do if a player seems to believe that his character is saying is true? I would explain one thing, he would say it through his character, but distort due to his character's opinion. Believe that. I'm not entirely sure what you're getting at, but I don't know. Once he started making D&D novels again, what kind of story would you like to see? I mean, Ari Salvatore's still making Drizzt novels, so good on him. No more Elminster, though. What are the chances of a Rune Knight getting into Tasha's? Pretty solid, actually. I want 3 magic missiles. I pack 3 magic missiles. Oh, I don't know what this was in reference to. Oh, I get it. I want 3 magic missiles, so I have to prepare 3 magic missiles. I think that should stay where it was. I think it's useless. I liked it way better now. Wow. Went back and rewatched a portion of that earlier video. You were right. Talked about it. No worries. Have you ever thought about a spell sword beast soul sorcerer? Nope, I haven't. Maybe. Could be interesting. What do you think of an Oathbreaker as a player class? I think Oathbreaker is garbage, and I would never play it. Why are you up? Because I'm stupid. Is it okay to send you free copies of DM's Guild stuff if we're okay resigning it to the infinite? Yes, you can send me anything you want. It's just it takes time. I have a backlog of hundreds, but I try to get through them. And I try to only do the DM's Guild stuff that I commit to say that I'm going to review. So, like, if someone says, hey, will you review this? And I say, yes, I will, to them directly, then I review it. Everything else just goes into a queue that, like, when I'm interested, I'll get it. Do it. Spell point system is confusing. We stole from Xanathar. Thanks. Oh, thank you guys for the love. Do you think demons should be able to be good if devils can be evil? Yeah, why not? What do you think about an Order of the Lycan Bloodhunter multi-class with Eldritch Knight? I haven't really played around too much with the new Bloodhunter to know what works and what doesn't. Is Rune Knight a thing in past editions? I know it only from RuneScape. You say Rune Knight. I think they meant the Rune Knight. I don't know if that's what it is. Greeting from the Philippines. Ted, get some sleep. Soon I'll get some sleep. Made a homebrew shifter race based on flying animals and looking at names Glidewing or Skylighter. I like Glidewing. I'm going to go with Glidewing. I was thinking of running a Tempest Cleric. Would Eldritch Knight be a good multi-class? Yeah, it's not bad. See my Eldritch Tempest video where I basically do a Tempest Cleric Eldritch Knight multi-class. My DM seems terrified of killing us. I got killed by a disintegration ray, but said, since I'm bound to a face spirit, apparently saved me. How do I worry for my PC? I mean, if the DM doesn't want to kill you, that's okay. Like, I mean, well, if you're okay with a DM being lethal, tell them that. They may be worried they're gonna offend you by not killing you, and if you say, if you kill me, then the DM will have that weight off their shoulders. Do I have a video on how to make a new race? No, but there's not really super any guidelines on that. No, there is in the Dungeon Master's Guide. I guess maybe I can look at that and do that in the future. Do you think you'll ever do a video of lesser loved 5e monsters? Yeah, I might. I might definitely do that, like a top 10. That sounds good. Top 10 forgotten monsters, if you will. Here's some fun sublashes. I'm going to be publishing to the DM's Guild: Barbarian Path of Scourge, Bard Path of Augury, Druid Circle of Weaver, Monk Way of Zephyr. Cool. Hey Ted, did you ever finish that teleporting sorcerer? No, I just made that one up on the spot. That was on me. I made that one up on the spot. I just got the DM's Guild stuff you sent over. And I never really finished it. But I wasn't actually planning on making it. It was just something that sort of, I had inspiration in the moment and then put that together and then walked away. Looking to multi-class my Warlock of the Celestial. Suggestions. Sorcerer is pretty common. Divine Soul Sorcerer is a pretty common one. Or Paladin could be interesting. How do you deal with rogue corner bonus action hide to gain advantage on attack? I mean, give them something with blind sight so they can't hide. Considering how long 5e has been out, when do you think they'll make 6th edition? On the 50th anniversary of D&D, which is like 3 or 4 years from now. Any advice for playing a Divine Soul Sorcerer? Take mostly cleric spells. Get Spirit Guardians early. Very much more interesting. Go to bed. Yeah, I know. What do we got here? Oh, by the way, did you see Minecraft is in Smash Bros? Yeah, who wanted Steve in Smash Bros? Like, why? I don't know. I'm not interested. I watched the gameplay. I'm not super pumped about Steve in Smash Bros. I was very excited for all the other people leaking fake rumors for all the other characters, and then we got Steve, and I'm kind of bummed about it. A Minecraft D&D crossover would be any good? It could be, if done well, and Wizards seems to be out for money, so it's an option. Favorite Bard subclass? It's a toss-up between Lore and Whispers. How would you line up a Butler Rogue? So far, I made him more like supportive, social rogue class that grants a bit of temporary HP on a short rest and can expend his reliable talent on allies. That's interesting. Not sure if someone has told you or not, but the exhaustion rules is in movement. I did not. Thank you for telling me that, though. Divine Soul Sorcerer is really good. Do you like barbecue sauce? And can I send you a jar of Alaska barbecue sauce? I would love that. I love barbecue sauce. You know what I have? There is in the link of every one of my video descriptions, I think even below this, there is my P.O. box. I'll be honest with you guys, I have never received anything at my P.O. box. I just go and check it because I would love to get something from a fan. Like, even if it's just like a letter, that would be awesome. So yeah, if you want to send me Alaska barbecue sauce, go nuts. Just joined the stream. Hope you're doing well. Keen for Baldur Gate Early Access? I'm not, but everybody's getting me hyped for it by asking me about Baldur's Gate. So I think I'm going to get it. I wasn't planning on it, but you guys are making me hyped for it. What's your favorite shade of dragon? I like orange. I like orange. I'm Ted from Nerd Immersion. Of course I like orange. But there was an old orange dragon that exists in like some dragon magazine, and I think it had like potassium breath, like explosive potassium breath. I don't think I'm making that up. I feel like I must know that from somewhere, and I would love to see an orange dragon make a comeback. Is that a proton pack? Yes, it is. It is a proton pack next to the shop vac. Yes, it is. It's my proton pack. I have a monk, Lycan, blood hunter, and I think it's pretty good tanks, probably. What do you say to Explorer's Guide to Wildemount 2 9 classes edition to make all the Matt Mercer classes? Or another book for other WotC affiliated. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Let them do what they want. What are your thoughts on modern D&D? I think it has a place. I'm not sure where it should be. Why, Steve? Because money. Yeah, you're right. Ted, the sorcerer that you did tell me about on Discord on DM. I finished it and I played at level 20. Awesome. That's fantastic. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was like a random thing, and I'm glad you played that sorcerer. Steven Smash Bros. Was bound to happen eventually. Yeah, I know. They had Banjo. Once they had Banjo Kazooie in, they could get pretty much anybody. So, um, I wanted Geno. I'm a big fan of Mario RPG, so I super wanted Geno in there. I would love Shovel Knight, but I know he's an assist trophy, so he won't make it in. I would love Isaac from Golden Sun. He's an assist trophy. He probably won't make it in. A lot of people have been throwing out someone from Overwatch, but I don't care. Like, I like Overwatch a lot, but I don't think like Tracer would fit in Smash Bros. Um, but they seem to like adding all of the new characters have really wonky new mechanics. Like, think about Min Min, right? Super long punching, but no recovery. Steve's got all these blocks and shit that he can do with mining, right? Banjo and Kazooie had the eggs and the bombs and the golden music notes when you do the side moves. So each one of the new characters seems to add a new and weird mechanic. So that seems to be, I think, how they're prioritizing what characters end up in, is like, what's a cool character that we can make up a weird, unique mechanic for. Sorry, sodium breath, not potassium breath. My bad. I said potassium, I meant sodium. What show podcast do you think deserves their own published source book like Wildmouth, The Venture Maidens? Do you have a favorite fantasy novel, author, or comic? That's tricky. I really originally, when they first came out, I liked the Aragon series a lot, but I haven't reread them since, and I heard they don't really hold up as well as I thought they did. I really like the Magician's books. I thought they were really good. Yeah, that's all that's really coming to mind right now. Monk Fix It video. I did the Four Elements, Monk. There was an orange dragon in The Witcher. It had an explosive mix of oily saliva and a deadly explosive compound. So maybe it's not from The Witcher, because I don't really know The Witcher that well, but I know it existed in the past. I wish we had the April Fool's Pink Dragon from Dungeon Magazine in 5e. That would be cool. Whilst I'm here, am I right in thinking a gnome battlesmith could ride their steel defender? Yeah, I think they could, based on that. Hey, would you ever do a monk bladesinger build with a main samurai or battlemaster? That's tricky. I want to see what they're going to fix to bladesinger in Tasha's before we talk about any new builds. You ever played Spyro Eternal Night? No, I played the first Spyro, and that was it. Explosive compound, terrain, jungle rivers, and takes alignment neutral evil. Looked it up. Okay, so there is an orange dragon. I didn't make it up. I'd never heard of Geno before people started asking for him. I was really hoping for Shovel Knight. He's my number one pick, right after Bass and Treble for Mega Man. Yeah, Bass would be interesting. Knuckles would also be interesting. A lot of people want Shadow the Hedgehog. I would love Chibi Robo would be cool from like the Chibi Robo games, like the old ones, not Ziplash. I also would like more Pokemon. Like, I would love Kingler. Kingler's my favorite Pokemon. Kingler will never be a Pokemon you get in Smash Brothers, because he's on all fours. Like, I don't think he's gonna end up in there, but that would be cool anyway. Is there a non-awkward way to let a player know that his playstyle doesn't match yours? I don't think there's any way, Jay Neto. I think it's gonna be awkward. Have the conversation. You could try and frame it like to a group, in like a group chat. Be like, hey guys, just wanted to talk, and say like, if anybody doesn't really like the way things are going DMing wise, and we could talk about it, blah blah blah. You could try to go that route to try to like make it seem like it's not specific to that player. But you're probably going to have to confront them, unfortunately. Orange Dragons were based on the Fang and Deep Dragons of 3rd edition. How would you feel about an Avatar The Last Airbender RPG? I would play it. Let's make it happen. I want it. Have you got any experience with the Discworld books? I've heard of them. I have not read them. Actually, did a build of... Was Nobby Knobs from Discworld, I think? I did a build of... that character. Someone asked me to do it a long time ago. So It Builds character on the channel where I did that. How would you build around Booming Blade? I was tinkering with a Kensai half-elf or variant human who took mobile. I'm not entirely sure. Can't wait to play Cobalt Paladin of Conquest. Yeah, that would be nice without the strength bonus. I hope they get fixed more in Tasha's, but I doubt it. It's the easiest fix for the Ranger class that I can change for my players tomorrow. Give them a Beast Companion. Base Ranger gets a Beast Companion. Beastmasters is better. What do you think of a Criminal Crafting, Cleric, Artificer, Battlesmith? Oh, God. All the tools, crafting, and skills you want. Should I swap out Phantom for Thief? I mean, if you have Artificer and Thief, that's kind of an interesting option to give you, like, using anything. So that could be fun. Are there other 5e races that you think are weak, like the Kobold? Dragonborn. My Smash Bros. Favorite would have been from indie games like Shantae or Cuphead. Shantae's got a lot of love for her as well, so I could see that. My 5e players are going to face the Tarrasque soon. Any thoughts on how to take it down? It can be like, you could do the super cheesy polymorph it, and then power word kill, and it dies. Wishing for Crash Bandicoot. I was never a Crash fan, I'll be honest with you. I never even played the Crash Bandicoot game, so I'm not like in Team Crash, but I know people are, and that's cool. I'd be fine with it. It's just not who I would want. I heard a new gen Pokemon. Yeah, I've heard that too. You should read E.E. Knight's Reign of Fire series. It was really good because it's a series from a dragon's point of view. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Make Kingler humanoid and you've got a D&D race. Yeah, crab people. I think the Doomslayer would be awesome or Mortal Kombat for Injustice because of how brutal the character is. Yeah, they want to put the Doomslayer, in Smash Bros. Hardcore. Have you ever looked into the Fantasy Flight game RPGs, Genesis or Star Wars? I've looked at the Star Wars very briefly, but the weird like extra sets of dice and stuff always kind of turned me off. If you could Icewind Daleify a Snowy Owlbear, or if we can Icewind Daleify a la Snowy Owlbear one monster, what would it be? How about we make the Snowy Owlbear have resistant to cold damage? Like, that's how I would Icewind Daleify something and make the Snowy Owlbear, like, actually cool and not just give it a swim speed. But if I was going to Icewind Daleify a monster, I would pick a Flumph, because I think that would be goofy. Would you let your players true polymorph into one of the dragons that have shape change and keep the player stats? That's always a funky thing, and if my players ever use shape change and try to go that route, I'll deal with it when I come to it. I haven't really thought about it, though. I like the concept that it's like a weird workaround to become a dragon, but not a dragon. Booming Blade Cheese. Mobile in any class feature that gives enemies disadvantage. Yeah, that's true. Which would you rather see, 5e Planescape or 5e Spelljammer? Do you think it would ever happen? Maybe. Planescape. What are your top tips for running a game with lots of players? Have people be ready in combat ahead of time. Make sure people are on their game, because that's going to take forever. Name of the Wind. I think I have it. I don't know if I've actually read it, though. Any kind of golem that aren't in the game that you would like to see? Glass golem would be cool, or a lava golem. Bard's Counter Charm is a bonus action. Good enough fix? It's okay. I did a whole video on fixing the Counter Charm. Check it out. It's here on the channel. Forget Crash Bandicoot, Sly Cooper, or Rayman. I'm not keen on Rayman. Sly Cooper could be interesting. How do you motivate yourself these days? You guys keep me motivated. Seeing all of you guys comment on my videos, seeing you come out and chat. Like, I started a video at 4 o'clock in the morning, and there's 130 people here. Like, I used to stream on Twitch for like 2 people. And now I can stream randomly on YouTube for 130 people. When I stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Wednesday night, I average 30 to 50 viewers. That is wild to me that people want to come out here and see my opinion and like have a conversation with me. And I can only imagine now what it would be like if I go to a convention. Like, people might recognize me and want to like come up and talk to me, which is wild. And like, you guys are what keeps me up and going. And my kids and my family, but like what keeps me motivated to come here and do these kind of videos and stuff is the feedback that I get from all of you. What do you think of the Artificer subclasses from Exploring Eberron? I haven't read them, or if I did, I forgot about them already, so I don't know. Can you do a guide to the factions? I could. That is very lore-ish, though, and that is not really my territory, but I could. Can we get a sneak peek at your subclass or your subclass stretch goal? Okay. So Blackstorm Realms is a space-faring, space fantasy thing. So I'm thinking of either doing. I know there's going to be a sorcerer in the book, and I think I'm going to either do a cleric or a paladin, and I want to mess with the concept of gravity. So I think that like a gravity cleric. I don't know if it'll truly be called the gravity domain cleric or like Oath of Gravity, but I might like the Black Storm is like the name for the sea, like the space, right? The Black Storm, vacuum of space. So I think it might be cool to mess with that. What I'm kind of looking at. Arctic Roper, nice. That would be interesting. Restrain and freeze. What creatures, monsters would you like WizKids to make next? Oh, well, the Fang and Talon set that's coming out looks really nice. I want all the dragons, and I reached out to my WizKids contact, and it sounds like I might get them, so I'm excited. How spicy do you like your food or barbecue sauce? Are you a mild, spicy, extra spicy? I like spicy food. I do enjoy spicy food. Like I like put sriracha on everything. I like hot sauce. I like, chili paste and things. But just so that like everybody I know can enjoy it, why don't we shoot for like a medium spice for that barbecue sauce? What's your opinion on War Wizard? I think it's a great 2-level dip for an Eldritch Knight. So no shape change can let you become a Skull Lord. Do you gain its spellcasting or do you keep yours? I'd say keep, you get the Skull Lords, but you lose yours. Do you think barnacles could work as a swarm? Yeah, why not? The Fantasy Flight RPGs would very much recommend. It's my hands-down favorite system of all time. I played a Marvel RPG, the old TSR Marvel RPG a couple weeks ago, and it was really, really fun. Simple way to run a game with only 2 players. Just scale everything and cut everything in half, encounter-wise, and you're good to go. What do you think of Hydra Mind Flayer? That's awesome. I would love to. I'm going to add that to my game. That's going to be awesome. What do you think about Kobold Artificer Armor who wears the armor like a mech? I think it's awesome. That's amazing. I love everything about that. I might have to homebrew a glass golem now. Yeah, right? I mean, it should do, if it's a glass golem, it should deal damage when they hit him because it, like, glass comes at him and it can do, like, a blinding glass spray. Hope you don't feel burnout. I'm not. I'm always good, folks. Okay. You totally deserve the recognition. Thanks, guys. You're the best. What's the best way to get feedback on homebrew? Nerd Immersion Discord channels. That's the best way I can say. Because I would love to get... You could post it on Reddit. You could post it in other places. Twitter. But I think the group that we've cultivated on the Nerd Immersion Discord is pretty good. And their creative criticism... a constructive criticism without being assholes, at least from what I've seen. So I would say come there and just post and like, hey guys, and tell them what you're looking for. Are you looking for balance? Are you looking for comments, help on lore, whatever, and just post it in the homebrew section and then see what you can get. You're actually playing D&D other than fighter. What class would you recommend as an easy/good class to pick up? If you're looking for something similar to fighter, right, you could do barbarian. If you're looking for something with a little bit of magic but still feels fightery, I'd say paladin. You're awesome. Oh, you guys. Where was that? Okay. Thank you for making these videos. Yeah, of course. How do you feel about building magic items as a weekly video, similar to Glaive of Wizardry that Nerder? I've been actually thinking about trying to release stuff through my Patreon to do, like, give them something every month. But I could try. I'm trying to get a cadence down that I like, but I also don't like locking myself into too many, like, set videos so that, like, if I'm feeling inspired to do something, I can. But building a magic item a week could be fun. I'm not opposed to it. What are your thoughts on time travel in D&D? How would you go about implementing it into a campaign? Would you be more interested in sci-fi theme? Time travel... We're in a fantasy game, right? So time travel can exist. Time travel always has issues, right? Whether it be Avengers, Harry Potter, Back to the Future. There's always issues with time travel. So you just have to be careful. Don't overuse it. That's my biggest thing. Or don't get yourself in a situation with, if this thing existed the whole time, why didn't people use it to do X? If there was a fresh new classic fantasy setting, what kind of race cultural concept would you like to see? It's not really new because Guild Wars 2 did it, but I like that the humans were the old race that was dying off and the elves were the new race. I like that concept. I found them recently and send new players to watch your videos. Oh, awesome. Gravity Palin. Well, you're welcome. I can't wait to see what happens in Tasha's. Also, just wanted to let you know, really enjoy your channel. Thank you, guys. So, like a gravity wizard in Wildmount, sort of, but not a wizard, right? Like, how would a paladin use gravity? Like, pull people in for attacks and that kind of stuff. Have you ever used Magic Jar in game? No, I have not. Would you use it on a player? I have to reread Magic Jar, but possibly. What is the closest thing to the mask in D&D? Like the Jim Carrey the mask? I guess the deck of many things, maybe? Would you make any changes to War Wizard if you had a player wanting to play one? Yes, I would. It is a future video that I have not yet made. Oath of Magnitude, Gravitation Tremors, yeah, something like that. Giving a healing breath to Dragonborn, good or bad idea? I mean, any fix to the Dragonborn, I'm fine with a healing breath. They're still limited by how stupid it is, how often they can use it, how bad their race is. So yeah, give them healing breath, why not? Love your set. Power more for Ninja Turtles, Giant T20. Yeah, there's a lot of fun things in here in this room. I'm going to do a tour video at one point. Thoughts on Baldur's Gate 3? You guys keep hyping it up. I'm probably going to get it. I'm creating a variant human race during Accounting Ancestry. Interesting. Have you seen anything about Try the Alien RPG? I've seen it and I actually met with them at PAX Unplugged when that was a thing last year. And I was supposed to reach out to them and get a free copy for review and actually have the business card, and I never did it. Ted, I have a party of 6th to 15th level characters. They kind of found a secret chamber in a large sinkhole at an archaeology dig site and found a potion of liquid godhood. Do you think I might be in trouble? Well, it depends on what liquid godhood does, but you know, it's only as much as it happens, right? I mean, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, maybe it's like fake godhood. I don't know. You're looking at the Discord communities of YouTubers in that area. I like this one. Oh, thank you. What would you do with a ranger class to fix it? I gotta work on that. I have a whole fix done. It's already written up. It's received several playtest feedback. Everybody seems to like it. I'm going to put it into production. I actually started it. It's like I have a tab open. That's me starting to write it up to go on the DMs Guild. So you guys will get it. And then I will do a video on it. So you can get it for free or you can pay for it too. I have one more question before I go. How would you find the ability to juggle everything from your family and everything that you do? No. I don't sleep. No, I mean, that's part of it. Being able to work from home throughout this whole thing really has helped a lot because, like, I don't have a 3-hour commute. I don't have to get up in the morning. I don't necessarily need to shower every morning before I go, like, because I can just get up and, like, you know, here's my work computer, right? Like, it's right here. I can just do work if I need to, and then, like, you know, that's how it works. Do you think a Mind Flayer X little face hugger is a good idea? I think it's a great idea. I think you should definitely do that. How would you DM making potions out of good berries? I would allow you to crush up all the good berries into a potion bottle to make like a good berry juice, but I would cut the effectiveness time in half. So like if it lasts normally for 24 hours, it would be 12 hours. Transformative Dragonborn as a player race with the variants being Dragonborn of Bahamut, Dragonborn of Tiamat. Yeah, I have a homebrew one that I tried to do. It's not the best, but it exists out there. I like the sound of an Order of Singularity Paladin. Yeah, I think that could be really fun. I have so many subclasses to complete. Time travel needs to be limited. Yeah. If homebrew the mask, maybe. What is your opinion on Vampire the Masquerade game systems and other systems like that? I like them a lot. I like the World of Darkness systems a lot. I played a Hunter the Vigil game, and I super loved it. It just fizzled out like other games do, and I'm really bummed about it because I had a lot of fun in that game. But If you really wanted to play a new character but didn't want them to die, how would you write them out to introduce your new one, assuming your DM gave you the okay? That depends. I did that one time where I had like my old character be best friends with my new character. My old character left and was like, I must go. My people need me. Here are all my worldly possessions, and gave all of his gold and everything over to my new character. Because I was a jerk. Um, let's see. Love the War Wizard video as a future video. Yeah, definitely. My fix to the Dragonborn was allowing me to take one of the Dragon exclusive feats for free. That's not a bad idea. Have you heard anything from Jordan about Ghost Elves? No, but I'll talk to him on Wednesday, and I'll give him a hard time about it. Did you know Esper the Bard is kickstarting his own book? I saw that. I don't know Esper the Bard that well, but I did see that the book is existing. Are you going to be playing Baldur's Gate 3? You guys keep asking, so I think I have to. Are you going to do a table for the Extra Life 2020? See, I used to do Extra Life every year, and I used to do 24-hour streams. I did it 3 years in a row. I did 24-hour streams where I DM'd for 24 hours straight, and then last year I didn't, and I feel kind of bad about it, so I would like to. But I guess I'll give you a heads up. One of the giveaways for my 50K giveaway that I'm finalizing right now is a one-shot run by me for you and up to 4 of your friends. So that's one of the prizes for the 50K giveaway. So there you go. I'm creating my own ranger subclass, tactical trap master. Yeah, enjoy it. If you were a class in D&D, what would you be? A lot of people say bard because I do things here on the internet. I like to say like I feel like I was very rangery in like my background, and I do love the woods, but like it's weird. Like I'm not a super religious person, but I'd want to identify with a paladin. But like I'm not a religious person really in real life to like have a divine connection. So I don't know. I guess bard works. One player seems to like to doing things willy nilly and drags the rest of the players around sometimes into trouble. What do I do? I mean, you know, if the players are enjoying it, let it go. How are you? I'm good. It's a little sleepy, but I've got about like 10, 15 more minutes before I go to bed. How would you DM a character trying to become a Death Knight? I think that could be a very interesting character concept. Make them work for it. Are you going to be streaming Baldur's Gate 3? Quite possibly. What do you think of AJ Pickett's Frozen Far book? That's actually one of the things that the DMs Guild and I synced up with. The DMs Guild is sponsoring a video where I cover that book later this week. Have you ever played and or DM'd an Acquisitions Incorporated game? Did you like it? If so, I have not played or run it. My players don't know anything about Ac Inc., so if I was going to run it, if I was going to play it, I'd have to run it. I did get to play in one Ac Inc. session at PAX Unplugged last year, and that was very fun. Since you kind of like the Butler-style rogue, I quickly made it up a PDF. Yeah, drop it in the Discord. I always buy all the books. Okay, released as the first giveaway I'm excited for. So I'm going to tell my party to make... well, it's going to not just be... It's going to be giveaway, at least what I have confirmed for the giveaway. Me running a one-shot. I've got 5 codes for D&D Beyond, Rime of the Frost Maiden. I've got a Hero Forge gift card. And I think I'm going to have Elderwood Academy custom make me some 50k hex chests. I think I'm going to go for a run of 10 custom hex chests with my signature on them and everything. It's going to be pretty cool. Let's see. So I'm going to tell my party to make and play a second character coming from a foreign country. Any suggestions for running 5 players and 10 characters? Tell them to make accents or a distinguishing factor so you can tell which character they're being when they're talking to you. Any advice for dealing with other players playing evil characters? Is the whole party evil or just one? Because that can get tricky. What's your longest time running a single session? My record was 60 plus hours. 24. I've definitely run 24 straight. That's the longest though. I think most YouTubers naturally come across as an artificer bard combos because that's what they think they're doing, but that's just the skill challenge you're currently doing. I agreed. I like that actually. My girlfriend started watching the dungeon run and wants to cast fireball on a bunch of enemies. We don't currently play D&D. Is there a creature that you recommend for me to run so she can roll some dice? Is there a creature that I recommend for me to run so she can roll some dice? Something that's not resistant to fire. You can just do a bunch of kobolds if you want to let her throw fireballs. Or a bunch of goblins. How would you DM a character wanting to become a lich and a possible end villain? I also love that. That's great. There are white liches. They did exist. They don't exist currently. Like a good. They actually might have like a caveat section in the Dungeon Master or the Monster Manual about good liches. That's a thing that does exist. What do you think of our race that is half lichen type, half human? That's pretty much what a shifter is from Eberron, a half like a lycanthrope history, half lichen. So that's pretty much as close as you're gonna get. What was the hardest monsters you've run as a DM in your campaign? Well, the Alhoon nearly killed my whole party. They weren't. It was particularly hard to run. I don't know. I guess maybe the end fight with like Tiamat and all that stuff that was pretty tricky. 2 out of 6 are evil. You got to be careful because they make sure they don't kill the party. I have a Kalistar player with a Mind Flayer enemy, and I'm thinking for RP, a mechanical standpoint, could the quarry be taken with their intelligence? Yeah, I think so. What would you recommend for a chaotic evil character? Rogue is a great chaotic evil character, especially someone who's really good at all of the skills in the game. The more skills you have, I feel like the better you could be as a chaotic evil wizard. Because I feel like if you look at the Joker, right, he's the quintessential chaotic evil character. The Joker isn't exceptionally physically strong. He's not like, he's really good at skill checks in D&D, right? He can do a lot of things and he can do them well, and a rogue does that very well. Sorcerer Ooze, is that supposed to be an ooze-based sorcerer? I like it. Think Shifter are the closest to cat anime girls in D&D we possibly get, other than the Tabaxi, which is a literal cat girl. Where can I find good stats for Vecna? I don't know. I'd have to see if I can figure that out. Have you ever considered kickstarting your own book? Yes, I have. But what do you think you have? Why do you think we have so many frog people but no Underdark frog people? You mean like Bullywug and Grung and no like Underdark frogs? Well, let's make them. Maybe we'll do another video. Maybe we'll do a stream and we'll make an Underdark frog race. How would you create a D&D version of the Pokemon move Razor Leaf? Ooh. Okay. It would be a 3rd level evocation spell. It would do a single attack against an enemy creature. It would probably do somewhere around like 3 to 4 d8 slashing damage, but it would crit on like an 18 to 20, I think, is how I would do it, because Razor Leaf has an improved critical hit chance. That's how I would do it. How do you feel about charging money for homebrew? It depends on how it's done. Like, if it's done through like the DM's Guild or some sort of source, or like maybe even on your own internal website, I think it's fine. But I think if you're going to charge money for it, you have to feel confident in what you're putting out there. When you're homebrewing / fiction class, do you start with broken abilities, then tone them down, or try to start as balanced as possible? I try to start as balanced as possible. How would you fix the vampire? Some people find it way too underpowered. I'd have to disagree. I think the vampire is okay. I don't like that there's no way to cure vampirism, technically. Although I hear that may change in a Drizzt novel that's out recently. I haven't read it, though. Speaking of War Wizard, I made one with a Mage Armor, Shield, Booming Blade, and Green Flame Blade, and he had a Tavern Brawler. Yeah, I can imagine it would be a lot of fun, but I think eventually, like, some of the stuff would kind of fizzle out. Currently playing a Warlock of the Undying Pact of the Chain, because I thought it would be the worst Warlock, but it's been a blast. As familiar as a Crawling Claw. That's cool. Nice to catch the tail end of the stream when I wake up in Europe while you're about to go to bed in the US. Yeah, that's fair. What is your opinion on Final Fantasy XIV style campaign and the presented campaign setting presented on Reddit? I haven't actually read it, so I don't know. I'm not a huge Final Fantasy guy. I don't know Final Fantasy that well. I've played a smattering of Final Fantasies, but I don't think I've ever beaten a single Final Fantasy game, because that was just never the games that I played growing up. Like, I played a lot of other RPGs or other games. I didn't have a PlayStation when I was a kid, right? I had an N64, so I didn't really play Final Fantasy 7 or 8. And, I didn't have it on the Super Nintendo. I played Final Fantasy 3, which I guess is 6 on the 3DS. And I had, like, 10 and 12, I think. What are your thoughts on Sorials? Do you think they could see them? If they're all like dragon bait, where they don't talk, and they only use their smells to perceive emotions, that might be tricky. I think your best luck with Vecna stats are to find the Vecna stat books of Critical Role stats. Yeah, if you can find them. Predictions for additional races in the future. Give us a dog race. That's all I want. We got cat people, we got frog people, we got turtle people, we got fish people. Give us a dog people. Where a little cleric in 5e, but their god is Demogorgon? That's a good question. I don't know. Is there a playable race that has blind sight? I don't think there's a race that has blind sight that exists in 5th edition. Not official. Not maybe in homebrew there is. I'm sure there is. Why is Kingler your favorite Pokemon? Mine is Eevee. Kingler, I don't really know. I like orange, as you can see in this room. So Kingler's orange, which is cool. And I think what really won me over was one of Ash's first fights in the Pokemon League, where he used Krabby, and Krabby evolved into Kingler in that fight with like the Zubat or the Golbat. And I really, really liked that. And I super loved how he did Hyper Beam out of his claw. I thought that was super cool when I was a kid. When I say kid, I mean like 14. But I really, really liked that. And, I think crabs are a really cool creature in the real world. Let's see. What do you think about a genetically created sorcerer and how would that play? I think that could be very fun. I'm getting very Mewtwo vibes from that. What is your favorite bard class and why is it eloquence? It's not. It's either lore or whispers. Have you ever played Minecraft with your kids? They are 3 and 1. They are not at Minecraft age. Are you a D&Der? Beholder boys? Yes, I am. What are your thoughts on non-combat magic items like the ones that came out of Frostbane? I love magic items. I love creating and making and finding new magic items, so all sorts are always fun for me. What would be the most fun spells for a bard when the flavor of the bard is that he paints his spells instead of playing music? I think painting a Leomin's tiny hut as an actual hut could be fun. How would you handle a game losing engagement and starting to fizzle out? Gotta talk to your players. What's going on, guys? I noticed everybody seems to be kind of like everybody's on their phone. They're not paying attention. Am I doing something wrong? Can I do something different? That's how I always start is I make it about me because that makes people feel like you might get the answer right away. Like, is it you? If it is you, that's something you can change. If it's your players, that's necessarily not something you can fix. You can ask, but like, am I doing something wrong? Is there something I could do better as a DM to make you more engaged? And if the answer is no, then you say, then what's going on? And maybe you can dive deeper into what the problem is and maybe resolve it or figure out what's going on. Hi, are Minotaurs a good martial race in D&D? They're okay. The published Minotaur is not great. You can't... Oh, yeah, I guess you can cure vampirism by smiting it to death. But, yeah. Can the Portent Wizard ability be seen by anyone when used? I don't believe so. What's your opinion on the Awakened Mind class feature from the Great Old One Warlock? How might it change to reduce some of its restrictions? Just let it be a two-way street. That's how I fix Awakened Mind. Let you talk and let them respond. What's your favorite 5e book? So far, it's probably Xanathar's Guide. Vulpix is my favorite. Orange is also one of my favorite colors. I'm also roughly your age, too. Yeah. I'd like make a cat ancestry feat for cat girl boy. Sure. If you could make one Pokemon move a spell, what move would it be, and what would the spell do? One Pokemon move. That's tricky, because there are so many Pokemon moves. So the first things that immediately came to my mind when you said that was Crabhammer, Psychic, Stealth Rocks, String Shot, Flame Wheel. What was the other one I had just thought of? X Scissor. Those are the ones that came to my mind immediately when you said that. Like, just rushing through my brain. So those, and maybe we figure that out in a future date. Half lizard folk, yay or nay? Yeah, why not? Yay. What are your thoughts of Brain Stealer dragons, and do you hope to see them in 5e? I don't know what they are, but yes, obviously I want that. Which do you prefer, a low magic or high magic? I prefer high magic because I like giving out stuff. What's your favorite video game? Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Didn't WotC do a League of Legends thing? They did, but it's gone now. It wasn't WotC, though. It was D&D Beyond. And there was some sort of weird behind-the-scenes issue that nobody knows what actually happened. And they pulled it as of August 5th. So if you search around on the internet a little bit, you can find it. Just search Dark Tides of Bilgewater. That's what it's called. Your favorite playable race for purely flavor? I think Azamar is probably one of the coolest ones for flavor because, like, the whole, like, you have your angel over your shoulder kind of a thing. Kobolds I like a lot too, and Grung. What's your favorite dice and color and style of choice? I like orange translucent dice. I'm very plain. The cheapy Chessex set that you get, the orange that kind of look like this. Right, these orange dice. Although, only certain one of them come with the Nerd Immersion logo on them. But these clear orange with the white numbers, that's my go-to. Do you think WotC is going to do anything with Dragonlance? I hope so. They seem to. It'd be stupid not to. So many people want it. So many people want that, Dark Sun, and Spelljammer. Have you ever had a TPK? Yes. I've had one as a DM, and I've been a part of one as a player. Is it bedtime? It pretty much is. You should post these VODs on a separate channel or something. I love to watch them in my free time. They are still all on YouTube. I'm gonna go see if I can get him here. Let's open an incognito tab and go to YouTube and see if we can find him. I think they are still watchable. I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yes, they are. Where are we here? Person who was asking. JDG. Check this out. I can go over here. This is an incognito tab, so I'm on the Nerd Immersion page. If I go to uploads over here on my videos, and I go to past live streams, they are all right here. You can see them. All the live streams I've ever done on YouTube. Way back when I used to stream gameplay, and I did a mini unboxing with my wife, and then all of the streams that I've done recently. There you go. Do you think coconut water drinking vampire is interesting? Coconut water are supposed to be used as backup for blood loss. That could be fun. Any new kinds of mind flayers you'd like to see? I want an owlbear mind flayer, and I want a purple worm mind flayer. Which bard subclass would be a Pied Piper build? Probably Whispers or Glamour. Glamour might be better. What class would you most want to see come back from 4th edition? I don't really know 4E that well, so the war one. What the hell was it called? Warlord. People seem to like that one. I don't really know 4E that well though. Your beard is looking good. Thank you. No, it's not the BG3 hype live stream. Not yet. Maybe tomorrow. Have you seen Inter-PCs reviewers, and have you wondered how that would work as an actual D&D campaign? I have not. Recently had a total group broken by one person. It was a small group, and now it's gone. I saw the red flags. Any tips on how to see them sooner? I can't help you figure out if you saw the red flags, you got to call them out. Have you heard of the Evolving Cantrips homebrew? I have not. Sounds interesting. What's your favorite puzzle you've used in D&D? I had my party play Jeopardy game based off of the game world and how they've done it. I did a puzzle, but it wasn't really a puzzle. They played Yu-Gi-Oh! I played Yu-Gi-Oh! With one of my players. They got banished to the Shadow Realm, so they fought Yami-Yugi, and I just played a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! With my one of my friends, which was kind of shitty for the other players at the table, but we just played Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was kind of fun. I currently gave one of my players a it's a musical puzzle, and he is musically inclined. He's the one I'm working on the album with, and he basically has some things, and he has a series of notes, and he has to arrange the notes and play the song, and he hasn't figured that out yet. What's your favorite? Okay, what has an estimate? How much time have you spent on D&D over the years? As in dollars? A lot, like a lot of dollars. Also, what is your opinion on the evolving magic items that level under certain conditions? I love that. I use that in my games. Actually, one of my players has one in my game currently. It's Storm's Herald. Rick's Axe is one of those. How do you deal with a group that just doesn't fit and talking out of game doesn't help? I think it's time for a new group. I hate to say that to people, but like if it's not working and no one's talking out of game and you can't make things work, then why are you putting yourselves through with this? If you remake top 10 magic items per class after Tasha's release, I might. I doubt it though. That was a long series. How would you implement radiation into D&D? I think it's radiant damage, and if you look at Sickening Radiance, the spell, it's basically radiation. If you're making top the map, radiation can be similar to exhaustion. Yeah, I mean, actually, the Sickening Radiance spell does cause exhaustion, so. I know you like minis. I played War Machine. Did you play Warhammer? No, I never played Warhammer. Good morning from Brazil, Ardu. How long do you think it will be till 60 happens? 3 to 4 years, whatever the date is when it's the 50th anniversary of Dungeons & Dragons. When do you think you'll live stream again? Fuck, I know. I don't know when I'm going to do these things. Maybe this weekend. There's a so can I level with you guys? There is a local like game store not too far away from me. That's like, maybe 7 miles away. And my wife is just like, hey, they're running a D&D game on Saturday. You should go play. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I play games every week. Why do I need to go play in another D&D thing? And she's like, well, some of your players on Tuesday have to drop out or you can't get people here. It'd be good to kind of like see who's out there, see who's local, see if you jive with any of the people. Maybe you'll get them in to come play. And I'm like weirdly nervous about that. And I don't know why. I have no reason to be nervous. I play D&D all the time. I stream online. I all this stuff. But like, I get like a weird nerves about like showing up at this random game shop on a Saturday to play in a game. Like, I don't know what that's about, but that's the thing. Kids are going to grow up with a very fun dad. Oh, thank you. Have you ever played Pokemon or Magic the Gathering? Yes, Pokemon a lot. I have a very sad story. I used to play the Pokemon TCG online game quite a bit. And when Pokemon Go came out, I tried to link my Pokemon Go account to my Pokemon TCG account because that was the thing you could do. And I really, really wanted to play Pokemon Go. And I tried doing that and it locked me out. So I quickly switched and made like Pokemon Go attached to my Google account. But my old TCG account was tied to an email account that I no longer have that I canceled years and years ago. And that got canceled. And I can't actually gain access to that old Pokemon TCG account. I had a ton of awesome limited edition stuff on that account, and I can never get it back. And it sucks. Because I have this fat stack of TCG like codes that I wanted to enter on that account that I never got a chance to do so. You are a human being who experiences natural social anxieties. How dare you? Yeah, fair enough. What do you think about using the Dream Plane in the campaign or a Dream Plane inspired subclass? That could be fun. Well, there's a Druid of the Dreams, so it seems like it's a natural thing. What do you think about having a soul bond item instead of taking an attunement slot? It becomes bound to your soul. I don't love the attunement limitations in 5th edition. I haven't been brave enough to break them in my own games. And there's certain items where I'm like, this is an attunement, and it definitely should be attunement, but I just don't want it to be. So I've been trying to think of ways to break the attunement subclass. How fast do you level your players? When it feels right. Or when if things have kind of gotten to a lull and like I feel like I'm kind of losing my players or they're zoning out for a little bit, I'll just throw in a random level up because that jazzes everybody back into the game. But for the most part, when it really makes sense, but like we're in the campaign now. We're like level 15, the one that I play on Tuesdays. So okay. Do you play Yu-Gi-Oh IRL? I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh IRL. I don't really anymore. I had a spellcaster deck that I really liked. Themed around Dark Magician. I had a whole bunch of decks though. I had like 6 or 7 decks that I had all like stacked out. What are your thoughts on choosing to play a character of a different gender than you? It's fine, just be respectful. Because like no one wants to be the person who's like, oh, I play this other gender and now I'm kind of a jerk about it or insensitive to it. Best build to carry noobs. Carry noobs? Paladin, Oath of the Ancients, Life Cleric, one of those two. Favorite D&D board game? I never really played any of the D&D board games. I like the 3 Dragon Ante card games. Reduce hit dice exponentially for each attunement slot over the cap. That's an option. Grant, Train, you say you don't use attunement at all and it works fine. Yeah, I've thought about doing that. I thought about going back to the old school way of like slots, like helmet, necklace, armor, like, shirt, greaves, gloves, pauldrons, whatever, something. So what I've been thinking about doing in my homebrew world is like there's a lot of new rules and stuff I want to implement, but it feels weird to just start implementing them 99 episodes deep. So I've been thinking about like through the course of this campaign having changes to like or issues with like the goddess of magic, like something happening to her, and that changes the way magic is handled in the world, or like changes to the god of healing, and that changes the way healing is handled, and so it make an in-universe way to change the way things are for when we play the second campaign after this one ends. What do you think about a new for Hexblade Warlock? Like you have to build a character or a weapon. More of a nightmare from Soul Calibur. That sounds cool. I don't, like I said, I don't want to shake things up too much 99 episodes in. Like tomorrow or later today, Tuesday the 6th, it is, it's our 99th episode of this campaign. It seemed would be weird to just introduce new shit. So, if the goddess of magic gets killed, maybe like magic items are more rare, or, maybe something happens and she's suffused with more power and become more rare. I'm thinking about like having the god of healing be harmed so that like you don't heal on a long rest. I don't know. I haven't figured that out exactly, but you get my point. If you're playing in an AL game, do you have to follow the new errata for kobolds? I guess technically, yeah. Picking up Baldur's Gate? Probably. You guys keep wanting me to. The Modern Magic UA needs some help. It's pretty old, so I don't know. What's your favorite favorite class to homebrew around? Either classes or I like messing around with Paladin a lot and Cleric. I think they're easy to play with. Dragonborn were fixed up a little. What do you think of a Gemborn dragon? A Gem Dragonborn? I think it'd be cool. I mean, Dragonborn being fixed up means it would be back on the table. I have a game world where HP is like a magic life shield. Reaching 0 doesn't drop you, but any damage take is a real hit. How do you envision HP? I don't really know how I truly envision HP. I have issues with it. I always bring up the concept of slitting someone's throat. Like, if you have someone captured dead to rights and you slit their throat and you sneak attack and you do a critical hit and they have enough HP and they don't die, then, like, what's the point? But, like, you want to narratively just allow it, but, like, the players would be fine with you narratively allowing it if they have the enemy's knife, they have their knife to the enemy's throat. But if you have your knife to the player's throat, they don't want that because then they just die. So, like, it's an issue I've always had. I have a game world. Oh, I want to tie attunement to charisma stat, but don't know how to balance it. I would tie it to intelligence if you're going to tie it to any stat, because charisma is more of a power stat. Intelligence is pretty weak. So if you're going to tie attunement to a stat, tie it to intelligence to make it more valuable. I don't know of any good coup de grace rules for 5e. Yeah, I've been thinking about a lot of fun stuff with like messing with this gods concept. Um I no, if you run it by your DM and they're okay with it, there's no reason to ask again. If you've come up with better ideas or new stuff that you like, I would give it a shot. You can't right, it can't hurt to run something by them and they just be like, "No, I don't think so." And they're like, "Okay, well now I know." But if you don't, you keep it behind closed doors, you'll be stewing on this for a while, wondering if this could work or this could be a thing. Like the Uncharted way of handling HP, of it being your character's luck, and once they run out, they start taking actual damage and quickly die from it. Favorite wizard familiar? I like Owl, obviously, is one of the great ones, but I also have a bat right now, and I'm really digging the bat. Uh, yeah, I thought about doing something like a helpless condition, um, where it like cuts your HP in half, if you're considered helpless. Whether that's like you are bound, you are gagged, you are knifed to your throat, you are considered to be helpless. Therefore, it halves your maximum HP, something like that. You could still possibly survive, but like there's less of a chance. Are you looking forward to DMing Blackstorm Realms, or are you hoping to be a player first? It's tricky because both would be fun. I also think it would be interesting to incorporate it into an ongoing campaign. Starts Without Numbers is a cool mechanic for insta kills, where you have 10 turns to set up the attack. You can do a skill check to do it. That kind of makes sense, right? If you're building up to it. How do you balance combat and counter? Do you use Cobalt Fight Club? I don't. I probably should. Everybody tells me I should use Cobalt Fight Club. Maybe I should. Um, but no, I don't. Maybe double incoming damage rather than half current HP. Yeah, something like that. I haven't figured it out yet. Like I don't love short rest. I don't love long rest giving you all of your HP back. I'm fine with long rest giving your spell slots back, but I don't think you should heal. I don't think you could be. I don't think you could have literally died, been at 0 hit points, had 2 failed death saving throws like 18 times in a day, and all you need to do is take a rest for 8 hours, and like you're brand new, like you're freshly born. You know what I mean? Have you ever played a Gestalt campaign? I have not. How about instead of helpless, you can be vulnerable? That makes sense. Vulnerable, and you're vulnerable in the role. That makes sense. I've come to the realization that there's no situation that becoming a spider or crab if on the beach cannot solve other than sheer combat. What do you think is the worst mechanic in 5e? Crafting, because there isn't one. What are your thoughts on the upcoming sidekick system in Tasha's? I think it'll just be an improved version of the Essentials kit, and I think that'll be good. Thank you, Wacky Warrior. I'm about to go to bed because it's 5:20 in the morning and I haven't slept yet. So I'll give everybody one last round of chance for questions, and then I'm off to bed. I always thought that D&D would be cooler if there's a mental HP or a willpower stat. I think it's just too much. I think there's just too much like currencies to track, which is probably don't have like a willpower stat. Um, you know? Artificer and subclasses opinions. I like the Artificer. I like the armor a lot. I have a subclass, a character I've built for that. I'm working on a Ghostbuster, Paranormal Investigator subclass for the Artificer. It should be fun. What do you think about the class feature variants? I think it's one of the most needed things in 5th edition, and I'm super excited for it. You guys are great. I would love like I said, I would just love to have a handwritten letter from somebody in my PO box. Would be cool just to like read something that someone sent to me, like even if that's all it is. I don't need like packages of things. Do you still have that crazy work situations? No, I'm just working 8 to 5 every day. What's my favorite published adventure? Probably Strahd or Storm King's Thunder. What's your favorite 3-5 mechanic that didn't make it into 5e? I like the concept of taking 10 or taking 20. I like the coup de grace. I like skill points. Skill points is the big one. Do you think the Mariner's fighting style will make it into Tasha's? I don't, unfortunately. What is your opinion about a player that likes to reflavor their spells to be appearance-wise something else? Yeah, I don't have any problem with that. Do your thing. It used to have to be a feat to take to reflavor your spells to make them look different. In 3-5, how would you change the mechanics to discourage players from going unconscious up and down again? Give them a level of exhaustion when they go down, or for every failed death saving throw, or something like that. If you could choose to become a D&D race, which would you pick and why? Probably a wood elf, so I could, see the world, stuff like that. Could you release any homebrew content you make on the channel? Yes, some of it's free. It's out there in the world, but I'll make some more, I promise. A letter from a dead colleague posing a question you have not been able to answer yet. You guys have any ideas what this could be? Who your father is. I don't know. I don't like that. What's your opinion on players changing subclasses on a character? Warlocks seem easy, wizards maybe not. How would you handle it? I just let them do it, or make up a story reason why. Me and my group recently bossed Ghost of Saltmarsh. What do you think about that book? It's good if you like nautical stuff. How much HP do you think you should recover during a long rest? I think it should be your character level plus your constitution modifier, maybe plus something else. If you could choose to be a Pokemon, what would you choose? If I could become a Pokemon? Well, any of the ones that could fly. It'd be Pidgeot. Dropping to 0 HP equals -2 stats for a week. Good. It could be. I'm thinking... I think dropping to 0 HP should be a level of exhaustion. Or maybe it's a level of exhaustion after combat. Like, maybe you can... So that people aren't, like, super bummed about getting... dying in combat from exhaustion. Some people said give them a level of exhaustion for every failed death saving throw. Some people say give them a level of exhaustion for every time they hit 0. I'm going to say, like, maybe if they hit 0 in combat, maybe, like, the adrenaline of combat keeps them going, but as soon as they leave combat, they get a level of exhaustion. Metamagic UA, I like it. What do you think about high elves switching their elven weapon proficiencies for 4 tools proficiencies? Be some skilled elves out there, I'll tell you that much. Sleeping overnight lets you spend hit dice. That's an option I've thought of too. Character level plus con mod plus a free hit die. Something like that, yeah. And I thought about maybe if you take like the durable feat or something like that, or the tough feat, you could maybe like double one of those numbers. Or like get a magic item that lets you like gain more. A 5th level or lower spell would you pick to take in real life? Oh god, probably a Cure Wounds, Mass Cure Wounds, or Guidance. Those seem to be the 2 most useful ones. Injuries check after a con save when you drop to 0 hit points. That's another way to do it too, Rodrigo. Alright, folks. It's bedtime. It's 5:25 a.m. I apparently have to go buy Baldur's Gate 3. And then go to sleep. Top 10 weapons you'd like to move from 3.5 to 5e. All the ninja-type weapons. Game Freak sounds like an up-dasted Calder's Tower. Less taxes then. Yeah, okay. Night, everyone. I'll be doing one of these at some point in the future. I'll try to give you more notice when I do so, but these are usually so random. I don't know. Have a good night. I'll see you next time.